the breaker!
I was asked, would he come down and photograph the punk night? Suddenly, the Clash come on and bang! There was this incredible cultural explosion going on.
It was a scary moment because punk could have gone either way.
The National Front were growing, the right-wing press playing the same old tune.
Keep our country free from invasion when the invaders have got black, brown and yellow faces.
We said what we need to do is do a thing called Rock Against Racism.
We're against racism in all facets of British life.
We want rebel music, street music, music that breaks down people's fear of one another, music that knows who the real enemy is. Love music, hate racism. The energy and the potential of it was what pulled all these people on board. At that time, there was a massive amount of police picking up black youth.
I met this man, Red Saunders. He was like, we've got to get together, we've got to build something.
Rock Against Racism was white people finally waking up to the fact that there's racism here.
The thing to do is get involved in outside organisations with white people, with black people. The only way we can do it is together.
Black, white, together, tonight and forever.
We're going to march from Trafalgar Square to Vicky Park. Get a stage, build it, got to have the Clash, absolutely great energy punk band. The police were ridiculing us, saying nobody's going to come to this march.
The numbers just kept coming.
In this society, we're made to feel powerless and useless, and that the great and the good should do our thinking for us. And one of the wonderful things that we did in Riot was to say, no, just ordinary people, we can do things, we can change the world.
I believe art cuts across time.
All of her work is so voluptuous. I think that was shocking in a subversive way.
When I was an abstract artist, nobody thought about money. You just wanted to make great art. That is so depressing. Albers gives me a scholarship to Yale. So he comes into my studio and he put his hand on my knee and it traveled up my thigh.
Audrey was not only one of the top photorealists, she was also the only woman in that movement at the time.
It was hard to be a woman artist then. Having children, I never mentioned it because you were thought less of.
Hilton Kramer, the New York Times reporter, called her the Barbara Streisand of painting.
The thing was to paint the horror so that you could look at it, make it that beautiful.
Big and glorious and tragic.
Light, shadow. This canvas has been in my studio for 36 years, unpainted. So you stand before it and you say, oh my God, I'm gonna ruin it. What am I gonna do? And I have to say to myself, take the plunge.
ايش بدك مني؟ اصحاب اطلع.
قطاع الحكم المحلي من أجمل القطاعات اللي الواحد ممكن يعمل فيها في الوطن.
خلي بس أعمل غرفتين بصراحة. خلينا
الزلمة بيقول لي عامل لي حمام فيهم.
بدي
أنا لغاية الآن مش فاهم شو الست بقول.
مينيسوتا The state of 10,000 square.
يعني أنت حطيت سلوجن.
لا واحدة منهم.
والله هاي شغل مسي. ما زبطت. وصلنا ل5 في العد، بينزلوا عملية الإنزال بتصير عن الأسطح.
أنا رئيس بلدية فيك يا عالم، أقسم برب العالم واللي مش عاجبه طز.
هذه بابليك راحة.
انه اليوم في خطاب وراح يعلن، راح يتطرق لهذا الموضوع.
راح يعلن ايش؟
طلع شو تجي؟
اطلع لورا. بدنا نشوف شو بصير الليلة بدها تقوم الدنيا شو. I'm not quite sure that everyone can imagine what difficulties you face as a mayor in Palestine. We don't have our own currency. We cannot visit Jerusalem. We are surrounded on all sides by Israeli settlements.
كل مرة عم بزور فيها مدينة من المدن الصديقة عم بشعر قديش احنا بإمكاننا نعمل أشياء احنا مش قادرين نعملها.
Very long day. إنه يعني إحنا مفترضين إنه العالم كله مش عم بينام قلقان علينا. يا زلمة إحنا ما حدش. هذا البربيج ما بينفع.
هي كل سنة نفس الفوضى ونفس القصة. تطلعش. هذه الأرض إلنا بكل محاولاتكم.
Maybe I have to say it in other words. It's about dignity.
Most of our families are actually intercultural, raised in different cultures, but have very similar beliefs, values, ways of looking at the world. We live in a global village, and that means that we meet and fall in love with each other.
We had some pushback from our parents.
Are you going to have a Christmas tree? How are you going to get married?
Judaism to them is very foreign.
There was the thought process of, why would you do this?
We live in a world of such radical openness. The younger the population is, the more intermingling you have among people of different faiths, especially in a big city like Chicago. And it really began to define my rabbinate.
I'm married to Rabbi Evan Moffick. You could say we learn from each other, we inspire each other, we challenge each other, we do very similar work, and we both love this work.
When I talk about Jewish Catholic reality around here, I think people are more curious and more hopeful, you know, when they hear about it. That's the way the world has to go around. I believe that's really God's vision for the world.
This was something that was important to us, and it wasn't always easy, but it was always for the best.
Even the friends that I have, some of them would be supportive when I would tell them what we were doing. Some of them would say, that doesn't really work. I mean, they don't believe in Jesus, and that's really the foundation of what you believe in.
My experience in working with Jewish Catholic couples has been rather unique in this way. I have never had more faith-based, faith-filled conversations.
When we got married, when we were thinking about our ceremony, we got negative reactions from both sides.
First date, and I was living at home at the time, and when he came to the door and my parents looked at him and said, he's not Jewish. And I said, yes, you're right.
Satanists! Hail Satanists! Satanism is a culmination for me. It's a label I look for desperately.
Tonight, we consider those who came before us. Primarily, we think of Anton Zander LaVey, our founding magus, and his great achievement in conceiving of the Church of Satan.
This was like the West Coast version of Andy Warhol's Factory. Those people were probably the most interesting people on the West Coast.
He wasn't going to tell you what to do, but you better fucking do it. And how many people did it?
I don't know what disturbed my family more. Me telling them I was gay, me telling them I was an atheist, or me telling them I was a Satanist.
Love to those who love, and hate to those who hate.
I read the book and said, I'm not alone anymore.
I don't believe that what I'm practicing is a joke, even though what I'm practicing is not a religion.
In nomine Dei nostra Satanas Luciferi excelsi.
My mother actually excommunicated herself from the Catholic Church.
Whenever you create an enemy, then things can be very dangerous for everyone.
Hail Satan! Hail Satan!
I will never die. You won't? No, of course not. I've made arrangements.
Tell me this, what do you think will happen to you when you die?
My children don't believe in my death.
You will not die?
No, no believe in general in death, but in the death of Dali, absolutely no. I enjoy tremendously every single moment of my life.
At this moment, I do not yet have faith, and I fear I shall die without heaven. My triumph will lie in the fact that I was able to overwhelm my period, and at the same time achieve immortality. My triumph is the gold that accounts for my present-day success, and nurtures my eternal genius.
I wanted to dance in Russia. I wanted to dance with the Bolshoi.
Представить ее в русской труппе очень странно, потому что это будет как золотой зуб в улыбке, да?
People don't see me anymore. They see that I'm an American.
She was actually told, for a soloist role, you need to pay $10,000.
The reality is, a lot of times, the greed is bigger than anyone's ideals.
If I say that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
The director was very kind in saying, well, if you want challenge, we'll give you challenge. You'll be dancing.
Для нее балет это как муж.
She performed a few times with various fractures or, broken bones.
У нас считается высшим таким достижением, это, конечно, лебединое